What the hell's going on, guys? I want to talk to you guys today about a goal that I've reached today, this past month, and what it basically is talking about is the $500 that I made in passive income in June of 2017. That was in combination of two things. Obviously, my dividend income that I get from my dividend investment portfolio, as well as $50 or so from YouTube, which was able to push me over the edge of $500. Previously, I think my record was around $400, $450 or somewhere around there. So this isn't too much of an increase from there, but the YouTube income just started increasing as my videos are beginning to get some popularity, which pushed me over this $500 mark. Now, you might have seen some of my other videos where I'm saying I'm making about, on average, $300 a month in passive income just from dividend investing. That's still true. I am working my way towards getting that $400 a month range. But I'm still about $10,000 of invested capital into getting to that area. I'm at about 340, 350 on average right now. So if you guys bear with me a couple more months, continue to invest over those couple months, and then obviously waiting a couple months for those dividends to actually start accumulating, I'll probably get to that point in a forward basis. But what I really wanted to share with you guys is, in order to get something like this, where every 3 months or so you get $475 or about $1,900 a year, you need to invest just under $50,000 of income, or of capital. Apologies. So that being said, if you weigh that out, this 475 times 4 times, which gets you to your basically $1,900 a month or so, and then you were to divide your $1,900 by your invested capital, you're going to get around a 4% dividend, on a quarterly basis, which, isn't too high, it's not too low. So overall, that's pretty good. So let's walk into the companies that actually paid me. That's kind of important. So what I basically did was, I've shown this to you guys in a different model before, where I basically show you what account, but at the end of the day, that's not really important. What's really important is the companies that paid me, really seeing what percentage that is compared to my entire income basis, and obviously looking at the passive income streams that I do have, which are dividend investing in YouTube, and really looking at it, 90-10. It's pretty obvious where majority of my passive income is coming from, but really understanding the invested capital that you need and how much money you can make off of that. I also reinvest all my dividends, so that's kind of what this is. So if you look at company name, here's your ticker, your shares that I had before the dividend, I got that, the total value of what it is now. The equivalent shares from your dividend, so your 43, for example, $43 equals about 0.8 shares of Wells Fargo, so you have a new share count at the end of that. So that's really what this is basically showing. Hopefully that doesn't throw you guys off too much. But anyway, so the entire month of June, I acquired $475 in income from my investments. Majority of which, as you can see if you walk over to here, it comes from my company shares that I have, Shell, and I think the third biggest is Wells Fargo. And then I have my monthly dividend payments from Realty Income Corporation of $24 almost. And then I also have my other monthly dividend pairs like Stag Industrial, Main Street Capital, and I think that might be it. Anyway, so those are the things that I'm really looking at with respect to that. Going through the rest of the portfolio. So I already mentioned Wells, Realty Income Corporation. So those two alone, that's essentially $12,500 worth, of which the $6,000 invested in Realty Income Corporation, you get about $24 a month in income from that. And you also get 0.4 shares, and that's really cool, because if you kind of walk through that aspect of it, it's like, well, if you get 0.4 shares every single month of additional Realty Income Corporation, and each share pays $21 or so a month, just a quick calculation, you do this times your 0.21, so you end up getting like another 9 cents a month. If you multiply that by 12, every month you're basically increasing just by reinvesting these dividends your income on a yearly basis by a whole dollar. And so that only will, compound upon itself if they raise the dividend just on Realty Income Corporation. So there's a lot of Phillips 66, about 40, almost 41 shares of that now. Shell, this one's a little interesting. So if you guys are ever thinking about investing in Shell, if you have or purchase RSDB, which is basically it's held in the United States rather than the UK or Holland or wherever the heck it is. But anyway, so you don't have to pay the franking tax associated with that. So it's a 15% franking tax if you invest in RSDA. But if you reinvest your dividends, they make you reinvest it in RSDA. So, little known fact. So I got my $104 in income from that, but only $52 of that was able to invest in purchasing me one share of RSDA. And I guess now I was told if you don't have a share of RSDA, you can't invest partial shares. But now that I have a share of RSDA, it'll allow me to invest partial shares. So now, from now on, these 111 shares, if they pay out dividend, will be invested, even partial shares, into RSDA. So I guess that's just something to keep in mind and keep in the back of your mind if you ever plan on investing in Shell and reinvesting your dividends. A little strange, but it could be worse. Stag Industrial, already mentioned, it's a monthly dividend pair. This one's actually pretty cool. I'm already up like 50% from this one, and I think when I first started investing in this, I want to say I was getting close to like $9 a month or something like that, and now it's already up to $13 a month, and my total portfolio value I think was increased by over 50%. I think this was like a $2,000 investment if I remember correctly, and now it's already up 50%, and the income is up 50% as well. So pretty wild from that aspect of it. Hershey, it's a consistent dividend pair. Holding that for the long term. I'll buy on dips. I wish I had bought some more over the past year and a half or so, but I was too gun shy to purchase. Suncor is an interesting one. Canada oil company. Purchased a lot of things with like Imperial Energy or Imperial Oil Sands or whatever from Exxon, I think, in more recent months. But it's kind of a small dividend pair, and it's a really small position. It was one of my first positions that I ever opened up, probably in 2014 time frame. So I might be thinking about getting rid of this one, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Then there's Union Pacific. This is something I've held for a long time. I think since the 2014 time frame as well. It was one of my big investments when I first started getting involved in dividend investing back in 2014, and now it has ended up being probably one of my smaller positions, just based off the fact that I'm now, I guess, being able to have more purchasing power as I save more and more. So Main Street Capital is something I bought probably like 6-7 months ago. It's turned out really well for me. I get close to a half a share every month, which I think this pays out like 18.5 cents. So every month I'm getting another 9 cents or so increase just by reinvesting these dividends, which ends up being about $1 a year. And then it also pays out a special dividend twice a year as well, which I think they do like it's either 27 or 37 cents twice a year. So that's enough to purchase a whole another share. So pretty cool. I think it's a business development company. So a lot of people don't necessarily know what business development companies really do. But they invest in like different types of loans and help people get small business loans and whatnot. So Main Street Capital is based in Houston, Texas. You might have seen me talk about it in other videos in the past. But if you're interested in having something that has a high dividend yield as well as exposure to small business, I would look at Main Street Capital if you guys are looking for that. Icon Enterprises, they're both relatively small. One's in my Roth IRA, one's in my individual brokerage account. I bought these originally for the dividend, and the price essentially got cut in half, but now I'm just holding on to them. One of them's almost, only down to 20%, I think it's this one that's in my Roth, and that's just because the dividends get reinvested, and you know, my cost basis for the whole thing goes down. Aqua America is something I've held on for a long time. Um, I should invest more in this. I think it's an expanding water company that's based out of Pennsylvania, and pretty high quality, and they continue to acquire and grow. Exxon, this looks a little funky because Exxon recently just hit 52-week lows, or hitting around the $80 mark, and so I purchased another $1,000 worth of shares. So this $8.32 is only from I think it was about 12 or 13 shares. Now I have close to 27 shares. So the next time that this rolls through, this should be probably doubled to about $16. So anyway, that's pretty good. That's one of my newer investments that I think I started in late 2016. Once it dipped down into, it's probably been about a year since I actually started investing in Exxon, and basically just hoping that long term it goes back up. But the petrochemical side of this Exxon Mobil business is really interesting. Producing about half the income of the entire business, and that includes downstream and upstream. So it's pretty crazy how they have the petrochemicals downstream and upstream, and petrochemicals is really making half the income. It's pretty surprising. IBM is one of my smaller positions that I started from my computer shares account. Really enough said about that. They just raised the dividend from, I think, $1.30 to $1.50, so got that going for it. But otherwise, I think I'm basically break even on the investment over the past year and a half or 2 years or so. Waste management is very small. I just started picking up shares every now and again, and unfortunately, it has risen substantially since I started investing in it. So I've cut my $50 investment monthly for my computer shares account, obviously because it's run up so quickly. So I think I only have like 5 shares. So I purchased, I think it was in like the $45 to $50 range, and then over a couple of months or so, it just blew up. And so I was just like, it's a great company and has long-term prospectivity, but I just didn't think that there was a lot of future value, and I think the downside, the risk of downside, way outweighed the opportunities on the upside. So then I had my company share value package, which I have through work. And then I think you guys already saw from my half year portfolio update my 53 whole dollars that I made from YouTube last month. So I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel all the time and watching and commenting and providing me with your guys' strategies on what you guys are looking at, and how I can improve mine. Whether or not it's say, hey, you should really have that REIT in your Roth, or you should sell that, or oh, I got out of this a couple months ago. I had a good discussion with a guy about Cedral Partners and how I should have got out of that a couple months ago. I 100% agree. I guess I just was hoping for, or holding on to the losses, hoping that it would eventually come back up. But it is what it is, and that's why you guys are here, and that's what I hope to inspire and help to communicate, and form a community where we can talk about that kind of stuff. And I enjoy it. It's a hobby of mine, and those of you that have followed me, I guess, for the past 6 months or so, really know that I do this as a hobby, not because I'm trying to get rich quick or anything like that. But anyway, another little tale for the road. But appreciate you guys always stopping by the channel. Feel free to reach out to me if you guys have any questions about my portfolio, how I started, or what I'm investing in. Always appreciate your comments and your likes and subscribes. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon, and see you guys for another video. Peace.